Hi, I'd like to introduce to you the ProRIG camera system. The ProRIG system combines the best of both worlds of the sports cameras that we've known to grow and love, such as the GoPro, and a wired, reliable camera system. So this system uses CMOS 4K Sony camera cores, same technology used in sports cameras like GoPros, but what we have done is turn it into a reliable wired camera system so you can control and operate multiple cameras at one time. So we have multiple camera systems available through ProRIG. This is the 4Mation system. This is our 4-channel PSC. So the power supply controller powers all of the cameras that are plugged in and also controls the cameras. And these are our ProRIG bullet cameras. And the bullet cameras are a Sony Core 4K 30 camera with a 120-degree field of view lens. They're a waterproof camera, and through the wired interface, which is a standard USB connection, so it gives you a lot of options for wiring. Through this wired interface, we power all the cameras so you don't have to deal with batteries. There are no batteries in these cameras. You don't have to worry about replacing them, and you don't have to worry about charging your batteries before you go on your mission. And then through the wired interface, we have a record trigger. So when you hit record, all 4 cameras start recording at exactly the same time. This makes video editing much easier. When you get done with your mission, you'll have all your video tracks and they'll already be synced up. You don't have to worry about trying to sync them with some sort of a visual cue. On the live video display, all the cameras output a live composite video feed. So the camera itself records in 4K, but the live video feed is a composite feed, which is compatible with most nav displays and automotive displays. So if you have a aviation or marine like Garmin nav unit, there's usually a video input so you can have the live video picture overlaid on your nav display. There's a lot of different sized automotive displays. There's small ones if you don't have much space, or there's nice larger displays if you want a bigger picture. So the cool thing with the live display is you also have a positive record symbol in the corner. So you know for sure that this camera is recording. And you can cycle through all of your cameras to check your view and make sure they are recording before you go on your mission. If you get to a camera that's not recording, that means the memory is full or there's a problem with the camera. So you can go ahead and empty the video file to get that camera recording. And then you can start and stop recording as many times as you want. The beauty of that is you're kind of a video editor on the fly. Instead of coming back from a shooting mission with gigs and gigs of video and having to trim out the parts of the video you don't need, now you can just record the good parts, and when you get back you have much less trimming and video files to edit. Also through the wired interface we have audio. So camera 1 records any audio input you put into the device. So if you have an intercom or some sort of an audio you want overlaid onto the video on camera 1, that will record through the intercom. So one of our favorite features of this system with our customers is the download capability. So typically you need to go out and recover your cameras and either plug them in or pull out the memory cards. Now you can leave your cameras in place and download all your video files through the PSC. You can plug a laptop cable into the PSC itself, or you can have a remote cable in your panel and plug the USB cable in, power up the cameras. It'll show all the video files. You download them, wipe the cameras clean, and now they're ready to go the next time you go to operate the system. So the beauty of this system is you're not charging batteries, you're not mounting cameras. They're ready to go every time you want to go use them. And with the flip of a switch, you capture your video, get back, download them onto a laptop. You're ready to go for the next time. All right, for a minute, let's talk about the cameras. Again, these are a Sony Core 4K 30 CMOS camera. The CMOS camera technology is the same technology used in sports cameras such as the GoPro. This is important because if you compare this to other camera systems, they'll call themselves 4K or high definition, but most camera systems out there are really just like a surveillance system. And the type of technology they use is not very good video quality. If you want GoPro video quality, then you need a CMOS camera, which is exactly what this is. One big benefit of our cameras are the field of view of the lens is 120-degree field of view versus the GoPro is like 160 to 170-degree field of view, also known as a fisheye lens. The fisheye lens is great for really close to body shots, so surfers, mountain bikers, things like that, which is what GoPro's target audience is. Whereas our cameras are used on aircraft, vehicles, boats, and you don't want that fisheye lens. The problem with the fisheye lens is your objects that you're shooting look further away than they really are. So you're shooting other aircraft, scenery, different things, and the fisheye lens can be distracting. So the 120-degree field of view is about as close as we can get to what we see with the naked eye, and people love that field of view. The other great thing about this camera core is it's raw 4K footage. We don't have any color correction or anything like GoPro does. GoPro will brighten the blues and really change the video to give it some pop, but a lot of video editors do not like that. Whereas here we have raw 4K footage, so you can take that, you can change the colors in your video production and make it what you want. So the camera housing is an all metal housing. It's an aluminum case and back. We have a 1/4-20 mounting socket in the back of the case for easy mounting, or if you prefer, we have a clamp that goes around the body, and that allows you to rotate the camera to level and maybe give you some more mounting options. So it's very versatile when it comes to mounting it. And again, it is a weatherproof camera. We also have weatherproof USB ports. So if you mount this camera externally on a boat or aircraft, you don't have to worry about rain or weather. Everything is weatherproof. And I am very excited to show you our new camera. This is our camera pod from ProRIG. And the camera pod gives you a very low profile camera. So the body of the camera goes inside the vehicle or aircraft, and then all that is left remaining is the camera pod. This camera uses the same exact core and technology as our other cameras. It works with the system, the very same. So a common way to mount this camera would be is if you have an inspection cover, and that would slide in, and then there is a collar that goes on the back. You adjust the camera, and the camera has a angle adjustment, so whether you're mounting it horizontally or upside down or vertically, you can change the shot of the lens. And then this again is a weatherproof camera, and this is very popular with our folks that want a very low profile camera for high-speed aircraft or just want a nice clean install. So this is all that's showing, and then you can screw lens filters over this. So if you want to use a prop filter or some sort of a filter, this has the threads on it so you can overlay a filter. Our bullet cameras also have a 37mm filter, so you can add a polarizing lens or a prop filter or whatever you may need for that mission. So another common question we get is, what if I want to run more than 4 cameras? Then it's very easy. We can actually stack 2 of these boxes and interface them into the system. So you can have essentially an 8-channel system by having 2 boxes. Or some people, they want multiple camera locations, but they maybe only want to run 4 cameras at a time, depending on what their mission is. So if you want to go ahead and wire in, let's say 6 or 7 different camera locations, you can move your 4 cameras wherever you want, plug them into the USB port after you mount them up, and then plug in those 4 cables into your box, and those are the 4 cameras that'll work. So you can pre-wire your vehicle, aircraft, or boat with multiple wire runs for multiple cameras. For those of you that have certified aircraft, this system is not FAA approved, but it is FAA friendly. We have aircraft grade USB cables available, so they are aircraft grade wiring that can be installed by any A&P and signed off. So you wire the aircraft with the USB cables and then install the USB ports in your inspection covers, and then the cameras and the mounts are attached to the aircraft temporarily, just like anybody does with a GoPro now. And then your PSC is also a carry-on temporary device that you use inside the aircraft. You can plug this into a cigarette lighter for the aircraft power, and then just plug your USB cables into it to control your cameras. So it's very popular and very compatible with certified aircraft. So check out the website. You can find the 4Mation system, and you can build your system and customize it as you need. We also have single channel systems, so you can do as many cameras as you want. You're not limited. We've had customers install up to 16 cameras on one aircraft, and really it's a very versatile system that you can use in any application.